Hello, I'm Vicky from Electric Needle Girls, and I have Heather here with me to the side. Say hello. And we will be talking to you about auxiliary bag hardware. So this is the bits and pieces that we don't necessarily use every day, but are always a good piece. They're always good to use as a little bit of extra bling. Well, not necessarily bling, but
they add a layer of professionalism to it.
Yes, they add a layer of professionalism, elegance, and actually even protection to your bag, depending on what it is. So I'll just go with a brief overhead. So you'll see there's a lot of stuff here. So I'm actually not going to go left to right. I'm going to go right to left this time, being really weird. So over here we've got our handmade bag tags, which we have, I'm going to come up nice and close, which we showed in our last video on Heather's A Place for Everything. So we've got that, and we have that in our 5 colour range. We have 2 different styles of purse feet. We have our split pin purse feet in 5 packs. So that's our silver range. So that's our 14mm split pin. You will find all these items on our website, so please do check it out. We have our screw-in purse feet. They're a 12mm base. Now, these are really good for the base of your bag. I will show you these to you on an example in a little bit. But when you put your bag on the ground, they actually lift the base of your bag slightly off the ground, so your fabric, it protects it. Your fabric's not touching the ground. We have our 9mm zip ends. So this is, instead of a fabric tag, ladies and gents, you screw this onto the end of your continuous zip, and your zip pulls will not come off. It's just a little bit of elegance compared to a regular fabric tab. Okay, here is an example here that we've used in a bag. Well, we've used it there, but I'll show you in more detail a little bit later. Okay, from there we have our strap ends. So we have these. We actually supply our strap ends in 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inch now, which we've just gotten into our store and just added to the website. We also have our split pin magnetic snaps in 14mm and 18mm. So that's the size. I think it's the diameter. So it's
across. Yes,
it's across the circle of the pull. So of the circle of the magnet. Sorry, not pull. So this is the smaller 14mm, and this is the larger 18mm magnet. These are really good for your projects, for flaps on bags. And if you're wanting a bit more security going out and about, instead of a magnetic snap, we have our twist locks. So this is a twist lock. So literally it is what it says it is. I twisted the base out, twist it back in place, and it's locked in. There we go. So that's just a brief overview of a large quantity of our auxiliary items, because I'm actually going to go into more detail into the last 2. So I'm just going to sweep these away for a little bit later. Whoop. Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, so lastly, we have our rivets. So rivets and Chicago screws. These 2 items add both elegance, security, and structure to a bag. So I have the zip and grip, this bag here. Sew yours zip and grip. Now, as you can see on the handle here, this is where Heather has used rivets. So a double cap rivet uses a press. And what it does is you punch a hole through the fabric, and I'll demonstrate this. And once you've done that, you press the caps together and it secures the fabric in place.
Open it and show that I put the rivets on the what is the top in the lining.
So these two ones here, as Heather's saying, she's actually, during construction, I'll move it here. During construction with these ones overcompensated, there we go. These ones here, during construction, what she's done is she's actually done it in between the line, putting the lining in, so you don't see it in the bag.
I think I put some Decaville Heavy behind that as an additional washer to give it a bit more security.
Yep.
Can you feel that?
I think
maybe I'm telling a lie.
You tend to. Yeah. I can feel it, but yeah.
And that's that Susan Felicity fabric from the woman in Western Australia.
Yeah, so this is actually, the fabric for this bag is actually done by a WA designer, Susan Felicity in WA. I think she was featured in the last edition of Quilter's Companion.
She was. I'd forgotten about that, but yes.
Yes. Okay, so that to the side. So what I'm actually going to show you is how we use rivets and Chicago screws, because Chicago screws have a similar appearance, not the same appearance as rivets, but they add the same structure as... Heather's just passing me a place for everything because I'm taking off her crossbody strap so I can do this easier. So this is where Heather she's used Chicago screws here. So one side you get the appearance of a rivet, or on the other side it is screwed in with a screwdriver. Now the thing about rivets is you do need a press and dies, which I will show you in a moment. But that's very easy. So what we can use with this is we can use it to create a strap with rivets, and we can even finish off the ends of our fabric instead of sewing it off with a square, which I'll show you. Which this is acceptable. So before we knew about rivets, we would finish off the end of our strap with matching thread and we would sew in a box. That's absolutely acceptable. And it's to add security and structure to your bag strap because it takes a lot of weight. Now, this replaces that. It can replace that. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how you can do that and how to add a little bit of flair with it. So we have a piece of 1.5 inch webbing here. What I'm going to do, you can see that it's a poly webbing, so you see that's a bit flared here. A standard cigarette lighter. Now neither Heather nor I smoke, but we carry one of these around for our bag making needs. I'll just pull that long piece off. And we just flame off the edge. It just
seals it, doesn't it?
It seals it. It stops it from fraying. It just helps with that each end from
coming unraveled.
Yeah, exactly. And it can give us a nice flat edge too. So on that one. Okay. So what we're going to do is, in this case, I'm actually going to make a sample for the next show we're going to be at. We're going to be at Craft Alive Shepparton after Geeks, and you'll see this at Craft Alive Shepparton. So I am going to place what I'm going to do is I'm going to do rivets, I'm going to do Chicago screws, and I'm going to place on each end a swivel hook. So this is just a very simple example of how we can use these items. So on this end, because I'm going to do a strap end, I'm going to thread this one through first. Now, because the strap end's going to be seen this way, I'm going to thread it that way. Strap ends are a really good way of finishing your fabric off. Now, because I've got a little bit of a gap, I am folding my poly strapping over, so that it gives a little bit more resistance whilst it's in there. So it's a bit thicker. With this, now normally I would use a product called Loctite on the screws, but for this example I'm just going to screw them in. I have 2 very little screws here and a tiny screwdriver, which we actually sell this in blue on our website.
Is that in the tub?
Yep. So what we sell, so this is just placed it there. That's what we sell on our website, but because we have one out, I'll just use this one. So I've popped the screw in there, thread it in, and I'll just start the screw. So we want to make sure we just don't thread it, that's all.
Cross the thread.
Yeah, crossing threads is not great, but if you've got somebody who can then get the screw out, it's great, but if you don't, it's a little bit of a hassle.
I think we'd get into trouble if we crossed the thread, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Most of our people know how to drive a thread.
Yeah.
We live with very practical people, don't we?
Yes, we do live with very practical people, and when we don't know how to use a screwdriver, we get in trouble. Okay.
Remarkably easy to fit, aren't they? And they just finish the strap end.
So that's just a nice finish to the end of that strap. Now, from there, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be punching some holes into this strap to fit some Chicago screws. Actually, you know what? Sorry.
You're going to do Chicago screws or rivets?
I'm going to do rivets, actually, because I've got the rivet tip in our punch. So I'm just going to move our packets of rivets and that here.
You want to mark your spots? Oh, I put it
Wrong way up.
We don't use a big cutting mat for this because this screw punch damages your big cutting mat. We don't really want to damage the big cutting mat, do we, Vic?
No. And Heather, can you explain to them how far apart we would actually situate this?
Well, on 1.5 inches, so that's probably half an inch in, half an inch between, and half inch. So, what do you think?
Half an inch in?
Half an inch in, maybe a bit less, maybe 3/8 in. 3/8 in from each side. There we go. How did I make that decision? Your head's in the shot.
Sorry, everybody.
She's trying to get her measurement really good, and you cannot do it if your head's not in the shot. Luckily, there's not too much grey coming out, Possum.
I think I had it dyed a couple of weeks. Oh,
it's not that long ago.
No, not that long ago. Just before Christmas.
Mine's due. That's for sure.
So 3/8.
3/8 is about 1 centimetre, and our rivets measure 8 millimetres across, so that's 10 centimetres. Our Chicago screws we might put a little bit closer together because they're a bit bigger. They measure 10 millimetres across.
Okay, so what I've used our Soline Trio Colour pen. So this actually has 3 colours to it, pink, white and black. So if you're working with a material or a fabric and you can't find a colour that works with that, I'd be very surprised. So it's three marking pens in one. But another thing to keep in mind is that you will be punching this out. So
What do you mean by that?
So whatever
yes.
whatever marking tool you use to mark these holes, it's not going to be seen. Yes. It's going to be covered with the rivet, so it doesn't matter.
It's actually going to be, it becomes waste.
Yeah, it becomes waste. You're not going to see it.
And that's our Japanese style screw punch. We're using the ones from the studio because these are products that we both use all the time. So Vicky's gone all the way through the 2 layers of strapping with that.
Does take a few goes, I think. Yep, got all the way through. Okay, now from there, because I have gone and punched through a frayable material, we use this product called Fray Stopper. So this will stop after we've put our rivets in, this will stop your products from fraying.
But we put it on before we put the rivet in.
Yes.
We put on both sides of the fabric too because...
So we've got here, we have 2 little push buttons on the side. We're going to push it and dab it on one side here. With the brush, the applicator until it comes out. Sometimes it comes out a little bit faster than we anticipate. That's fine.
It's fabulous for the end of overlocking. It just, what did I use it on the other day? Oh, I cover stitched a hem and I put it on the end of the hem. How silly is that? That's not really... I was being an electric needle girl though, wasn't I?
Yeah. Not an EPP girl. So I'm picking on her because she's doing some hand sewing at the moment. I have to pick on her.
What colour rivet are you going to go with?
I think I'm going to go with a silver one. This one, I'm going with a silver one. So I'm going to push my rivet through the first hole.
It has a post. So the post's going through the hole.
Yep. So I push the post through the hole. And this is why we've got the Fray stopper there. And then it has the cap. Sorry, lady, I'll put it back in frame. So I've pushed the post through the hole. Now I'm taking the cap and I'm clipping the cap in place. So you'll hear a click sound.
That will stay together until you put it into the press and make it permanent.
Yep. What I am going to do is I am going to actually situate both of them and bring the press in place. So.
And they look the same from both sides, don't they?
Yes, they do.
It's very difficult to tell.
So I pushed my post through there. Got my cap in my hand here. And I'm going to click it into place.
It's a bit of a rainbow jobber you've got going there.
Yeah.
Good for samples though, isn't it?
And click. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, because we've gone through those items. How are we going for time, Heather?
We've got about 6 minutes to go.
I'm going to bring our press into the frame, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is not on our website. We don't stock these. This is a press. Now,
it's not quite a sewing machine.
No, not quite a sewing machine. Presses, when you purchase them, they don't come with this wooden base. Fortunately, we have an electric needle boy. He calls himself that. He's going to giggle when he hears that. And he made that up for it. He's very
handy.
He's a very, very handy person. So we're gonna line that up with the divot.
You can pull that one out in the bottom.
So it has this little die.
That's an 8mm die.
Because we're using 8mm caps, we're going to put the 8mm die in, and we're just going to drop that in. And we're going to put the rivet into the divot. Rivet in the divot.
And the top is...
And when we press this down, it's doing the exact same. And it is pressing the cap and the post together. and locking it in place. So it is now compressed the two together. So you can see the difference between the pressed and the non-pressed.
And the top's got a silicone protector.
Yeah.
So we usually do the outside, the pretty side, with the silicone piece. I think you're there.
Yep.
Well done.
So I've got 2 pressed rivets,
Now
a swivel hook.
we need to get our skates on and
Okay.
do the Chicago screws.
Okay. Now this.
Go on, interrupt.
Yeah. This one we're not going to put a strap end on. We're just going to leave that one as is, so we can move ahead post haste. I've got 2 Chicago screws and a swivel hook at this end.
We need to change the
Yeah.
do you want me
Now,
to do that?
this twist punch comes with multiple tips, so Heather's going to change it to a larger tip because the posts on the twist punch are actually wider than they are for the posts on the rivets. Now, this is required because Chicago screws are actually a stronger product because having a male and a female component, it literally threads into it, creating a locking mechanism.
Male and female. You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did say male and female.
Yeah, I get into trouble for saying that. But
No, I give a little bit of I rise her up about it.
no,
Okay.
I would do those closer together.
Yeah.
So
Now,
probably half, because the Chicago screws finish at 10 mil, so it's just that little bit more.
okay, so we've got quarter, so quarter. Okay.
And again, while she's doing this, we would put, am I in shot? Sorry for the stray hand. We would put a little bit of Loctite on the thread and the inner and outer thread, the male and female thread, and that will lock it up. We've chosen to use the medium strength Loctite, so you could get them apart if you need to, but it's not the never get apart one, and it's not the loose one.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my head out of the shot, ladies and gents, and still get a visible mark, which is not working very well for me.
You could put that hole in and then measure from the other one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just put one in and that might be better. Maybe the ruler's too big.
Yeah. I had a helper grab me the equipment for this one. I probably should have grabbed it for myself.
Further in half an inch.
Yeah.
4/8.
Okay. Now there are actually specialised tools for this, but we decided to go with using some standard rulers in case you didn't have it. There are actual rivet tools out there.
Rivet spacing tools, yes.
Designed for 1.5, 1 inch.
I don't have a 1 inch, 1.5 inch one. I've got a 1 inch and a 1/2 inch. I don't know what I've got.
Yeah.
Can't remember now.
Designed for most standard handle widths.
We might skip putting on a Fray stopper this time because of the time constraints, because we're down to...
So...
we want the... No, we on the correct side,
so
the pretty side, we want to put the flat bit, don't we?
Yes. So on the exterior side, once up the peanut gallery... Yes. We're going to put the nice side and we're going to push this through, and I'm going to get that. And the screwdriver that we are also using is a multi-tip screwdriver. So it will have a tip for both sized screwdriver heads.
I'll just change that to flat for you. Because some of our Chicago screws have a Phillips head and some have a flat blade. What? Some have both,
yes.
don't they? So I've just changed your screw bit.
Yes.
I'm an amazing
Yes, she
assistant. Sorry. A little bit of banter here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. But lots of information in today's video. We hope that you've learnt something, the difference.
Okay, so let's, like we said, start that thread. So I will go, ooh. So, start the thread. Oh, sorry people. Daily alarms for things. I think it's an occurrence for everybody. So we will screw that in and I will go back afterwards and finish this up. I will be putting Fray check on this. But doing that in, okie dokie. And so I have...
That's good from the outside. Your holes were a bit crooked.
Yep.
Have we announced the new colours,
yes.
Vicky?
So, lastly, that we've got our... We'll fix that up, but yes, we'll do a straight line for that. But that is the use of Chicago screws as well as the use of rivets. You can see that they are larger. Come and see it in person at Craft Alive in Shepparton. So we'll move this out of the way because we have some brand new items that will be hitting the website for you guys for geeks. We have a new anodized range. We have purple Chicago screws and purple rivets.
In handy 10 packs.
Yes. We have them in red and a blue teal. Now this is to go with the anodized range of zip ends, pulls, and zip tape that we currently have on offer. So these are the pulls that we currently have on offer in our anodized range, which we have a matching zip for. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please come and see us and visit our website at electricneedlegirls.com.au, and we hope to see you at Shepparton.
Thanks.
So, bye.